Welcome everybody to the 104th episode of the Blacks in Technology audio podcast. We are back in 2017 after a few months hiatus. I've relocated, broadcasting live now out of Cleves, Ohio, a suburb out of right outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. So we've moved, got a new location, got a new studio, I guess. This is a new office, so new studio, new office, first podcast of the new year 2017. We're going into a new presidential administration. Dun dun dun. But yeah, we're going to have fun. If this is your first time checking out the Blacks in Technology podcast, I am your host, Greg Greenlee, if this is your first time listening, check us out at www.blacksintechnology.net. We are at Black in Technology on Twitter. That's BLKINTECHNOLOGY. We're also on Facebook. So that's facebook.com/Blacks in Technology. We also have a LinkedIn group, ever-growing LinkedIn group under Blacks in Technology. And if you are listening in right now, you are on Twitter. Shoot us your questions for our guests. Tweet them using the hashtag BitTechTalk, BITTECHTALK. Blacks in Technology is a tech-focused community and media organization focused on increasing diversity in technology through increased visibility and participation of people of color in tech. We are always focused on forming new partnerships and opportunities to assist our members with their continued professional growth. So, if you want to partner with us, send us an email to contact us at blacksintechnology.net. Any general inquiries, send them to contact us at blacksintechnology.net as well. Announcements. What do we have as far as announcements? Well, we do have Closure West coming up. And because of our continued partnership with Closure and the West and Closure Conf and the Closure community, we are offering 5 free passes. We're giving away, 5 free passes to Closure West. That's happening March 30th through the 31st in Portland, Oregon. So if you want to win one of the tickets, check us out at blacksintechnology.net. There is a form to fill out. Telling us why you would want to go to Closure West, and fill that form out. And I think, when is the deadline? Let me check, see if I can. I think the deadline is like February 17th or 18th, if you want to get your entry in to receive one of the free passes. And we, like I said, we only have 5, so if you are interested, fill out that form quickly. What else? Linux training. A lot of people may have forgotten about this, but we are still offering Linux training to BIT community members. So if you are interested in taking some type of Linux training, check out our website. There is a link towards the bottom of the page that will basically give you information on what trainings are available, and it'll give you a form to fill out, and then we'll get back with you. So training is available for BIT community members, Linux training. Slack. Yes, we have a Slack channel, and we are nearing 800 members in our Slack channel. So if you want to join our Slack channel, check us out. There's a link at the bottom of our website for Slack. Just click on that link, fill out the invite form, and you will automatically receive an invite there. Let me see. What else? Startup of the week. Gnomesy. Find the recipes, blogs, topics, and places that fit your diet all in one feed. Gnomesy is a centralized platform for customized food content. So I want to give a shout out to Robert Greenfield. He's a full stack developer, and he is the founder of Gnomesy, and they are our startup of the week. All right. Now, hopefully we worked out some audio issues. We had some audio issues with our guests. And you there, Derick?
I'm here.
Ah, there you are. Okay, excellent, excellent. Let me give you a proper introduction. Derick Pearson is our guest tonight. He's a social entrepreneur. He's also one of the founders of Feverish Pops, a venture-backed frozen dessert company, raising a seed round of $750,000. He is also one of the founders of BlackTech Week, which is a national conference designed to support entrepreneurs of color who are in the startup phase of potential high-growth businesses. And he is also one of the founders of the nonprofit Cold Fever Miami, Inc. Cold Fever Miami, Inc. is a nonprofit organization that's designed to train and support technologists of color who are in the startup phase of potential employment and entrepreneurship and potential high-growth businesses. So we want to welcome Derick to the show. Derick, welcome.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And where are you out of?
So I'm based out of Miami, Florida. So it's kind of sunny out here.
Okay. Yeah, it's not sunny here at all. It's cold.
Oh man.
Actually, it's kind of warm. It's a little bit warmer today than it has been. Warm for our winters. Our winters are normally, teens, 20s. So today it was probably close to around 40 or 50 degrees, and then tomorrow it's actually supposed to be 60. So that's actually pretty abnormal for this region. And for my Spreaker listeners, if you're listening on Spreaker and the audio is kind of choppy, I apologize. We're going to work on getting that fixed. We are using two platforms, so no matter what, you'll have a clean a version of the podcast to listen to. We'll just upload the clean version, the better non-glitchy version. So Derick, first things first. Give us a little bit about your background. We know you're from Miami, but give us a little bit on your education and your technical training, whether or not you have technical training.
Okay, to give you my full background, born and raised in Bainbridge, Georgia. Went to Morehouse College and graduated with a degree in economics and mathematics. I was a computer science major before I switched over to econ and math. After graduating from Morehouse, while I was at Morehouse, I did a couple of internships at Wachovia and credit risk management. Was a Mellon Fellow at the University of Minnesota, did research on economic development, worked at the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics, and worked at Target after I graduated. So while at Target, I was in financial analysis and expense planning, dealing with database pulls, databases, and implementation, and a ton of analytics. So make a long story short, got into experiential marketing, and with experiential marketing, me and my wife, we decided to start a popsicle business after getting laid off from Nintendo. And based on that popsicle business, we were able to start from nothing, grow it, turn every experience into an amazing event and an emotional memory so people can actually come back and continue to frequent our enterprise. After a couple of years, we were able to get $750,000 in venture-backed funding, opened up a manufacturing facility in Miami, eventually selling that. So, again, I was at University of Minnesota, actually getting my degree in Master's in Business Taxation before I left that and started my own venture enterprise.
Excellent. And for people who may or may not know, tell us who you're. She's very well known in the tech scene. So tell us who you're married to.
Oh, so I'm married to Felicia Hatcher. She's the co-founder of everything with me. Okay. So we do everything as a partner, as partners and in a group. So that's who she is.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think I met both of you. You probably don't remember this. This is probably, I think, maybe 2011 or 12 at South by Southwest. I met both of you. Yeah. So small circle, I guess, in the tech industry. When you're a person of color, we got all kind of one way or another.
This was at the Bit House, right?
Right. Actually, yeah. I was at the Bit House, but I met you all outside. Oh man, what was it? We were all going to get something to eat. I can't remember where it was, and it was like a group.
Was
of
it Easy
us.
Tiger?
Was it what again?
Was it easy? Did you hear me? You broke up for a second. Was it Easy Tiger? Did we go over there and get those amazing sausages?
No, I don't think it was that. I can't quite remember what the actual place was, but I do remember somebody actually introducing me to you and your wife at the time, and that was my first, I guess, interaction with you all. And then, you know, over the years, I hear, you know, Felicia's name quite a bit, you know, throughout the tech scene. So,
oh yeah, she's the one that we put out in the front. I'm always behind the scenes, dealing with the training of the youth. So Cold Fever is an organization, is a 501c3 that actually trains youth and adults in full stack JavaScript development. So we teach them the front end development, back end development, and we have corporate partners where we get them employment as well. So that's where everything started from. So based on our experience going to South by Southwest, we were like, hey, why isn't there anything like this for black people? So we decided to create it ourselves. And again, if you want to create a tech ecosystem, you have to have some people in technology.
Right.
So Miami had a few sprinklings of people in technology when we first started back in 2012, 2013. So, but over the years, people have been moving down here, moving from the Valley, moving from major markets like Chicago and New York, Atlanta, DC, and it's just been growing. The ecosystem has just been growing and creating these partnerships and these programs like BlackTech Weekend, BlackTech Week, and our VC and residence programs. It just allows us to foster that growth and continue to plant those seeds. So just to give you a little background about all of our programming, BlackTech Weekend is coming up, and that's in February the 23rd through the 25th. And BlackTech Weekend is a conference that is based and focused on VC funding. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to get funding, you need to be at BlackTech Weekend, February the 23rd through the 25th. That 23rd, which is the Wednesday, we have Michael Siebel who's going to be down here. You know Michael. Have you had Michael on your show before? Michael Siebel?
No, I actually haven't. I need to. Make that introduction, man.
Well, hey, come on down to BlackTech Weekend. You can have a little private session with him. Go ahead and get your live stream on down here in Miami.
Real quick, I'm going to do a little something because the audio for the Spreaker is very choppy. So I'm going to stop the audio for the Spreaker. I apologize to anybody that's listening live. We are still recording, so we will upload the clean version of the podcast right after our discussion. So I'm going to do something real quick, and it shouldn't disrupt much as far as our recording. So let me see if I can do this. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Excellent. All right. So, how did you actually get involved in tech?
So, when I was a kid, I used to go to those computer programming sessions in the morning. So when you were talking about in middle school and everybody gets there at 7 a.m. when school starts at 8, and you have your before class sessions, all your clubs, I was in those computer clubs. I was building my own computers. So that actually was the beginning of my tech experience. Before I went to Morehouse College, and I initially as a freshman, I was majoring in computer science my freshman and sophomore years.
Okay, very, very cool, very cool. A lot of us, and that actually ties into what a lot of people talk about as far as early exposure and having that for as far as our youth is concerned, having that early exposure to kind of pique that curiosity about technology. I talk to a lot of people on the podcast here, and a lot of people who are in tech right now. They usually have a similar type background. Somewhere along the line, they were introduced to tech early on, and it piqued their interest, and they made a career out of it. So very cool, very cool. So tell our audience what exactly is. I mentioned earlier in the introduction, you're a social entrepreneur. What is a social entrepreneur, and tell us how you became one.
So a social entrepreneur is an individual who has an enterprise, and that enterprise has a social mission, and that social mission is a top priority. So with all of our initiatives, such as Feverish Popsicles, when we first started, Feverish Ice Cream and Feverish Pops were, again, retail organizations, manufacturing organizations, and had a huge presence in social media. But a percentage of every popsicle that we sold went to a social mission. Whether that went into Cold Fever, which we self-funded through our organization in the very beginning, because again, as you start organizations, foundations, they only fund organizations that have a proven track record. Mm-hmm. So we had to prove ourselves to these foundations in order to create an organization that's sustainable. We also had a percentage of our money going to local entrepreneurs and to create those local entrepreneurs, whether that be through pitch competitions, whether that be through Kiva. A lot of our money was going towards these social missions. So that's what I believe a social entrepreneur is: a person that has an enterprise, and through that enterprise and their being, they have a mission that is socially conscious and that is moving, for me, our people forward.
Excellent. And so, in your bio, you mentioned that you're helping people of color because they are more disengaged from the startup ecosystem. Why do you think people of color are disengaged? What is it about the startup ecosystem that's causing this?
So if you look at the startup ecosystem and you look at the way our people are brought into and brought into to partner with or to be a part of the startup ecosystem, it hasn't been engaging. The only people that are really engaged are black people who are adamant about making the ecosystem more inclusive. So we, say for instance us, we actually go to organizations, figure out what is on their calendar, and we invite our constituents, our members, to those programs. If you look at over on a national and international stage, there hasn't been a large focus of people of color going into technologies. Let's be frank. Let's talk about black people going into technology. But as soon as you start seeing these major exits, 50 Cent selling a portion of vitamin water, it's like, okay, now they open their eyes up. Oh man, people can buy and sell businesses. That's amazing. Right. And then the next thing you know, technology business are the ones that have a high turnover rate. So those are the ones that are getting bought up on a larger scale. So you have Dr. Dre selling his headphones. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, so this technology thing is real. And then you start seeing people getting huge contracts and digital content and digital media. So everything starts transitioning from us making money from singing to us making money as entrepreneurs and making money as entrepreneurs from a tech side. So all of these things came to being to the point that we have right now. So right now we have a level of understanding and participation in the tech ecosystem that we haven't had before. Right. So again, previously they didn't know anything about it. So we had to do two things. we had to enlighten them and educate them on this industry, this career path, and then we had to entice them to take part and to be a member of this industry and career path.
And what have been some of your methods for enticing? I know here at Blacks in Technology, a lot of what we try to do is we try to provide inspirational stories, such as yourself, to the people within our community, right? Whether that's podcasts like this, whether or not it's on our blog, whether or not it's through community engagement, but that's what we try to offer. So, what is it that you do?
So what we do is, if you a career does what? A career actually gives you a means to provide for yourself, provide for your family, your loved ones, and to create the lifestyle that you want to have. So the first thing we do is we tell them about the earning potential of being a person in technology, whether that's a computer scientist, whether that's a chemical engineer, a mechanical engineer, whatever the case may be. We give them, we showcase to them the many different professionals who are billionaires, entrepreneur and technology owners, such as a Bill Gates. We say, you see this Bill Gates? This is how much Bill Gates is worth. You know how much $1 billion is? And then we have his picture on the wall on our slide. And then underneath that, we say, who's your favorite rapper? Oh, Jay-Z's your favorite rapper? Kanye's your favorite rapper? It takes so-and-so many Jay-Z's and so-and-so many Kanye West's to equal one Bill Gates. And their eyes just pop open. So we allow them to understand that earning potential. So we put it right there in front of their face. We say, okay, what about a Mark Zuckerberg? It takes so-and-so many Beyoncés to make a Mark Zuckerberg. It takes so-and-so many Oprahs to make Elon Musk, or whatever the case may be, like a Warren Buffett. But we don't necessarily use Warren Buffett, but we try to relate all of those different tech founders and billionaires to people in the music industry or the entertainment industry, and allow them to know that, hey, you can aim even higher.
Right.
You can try to be one of these individuals that are controlling the world, that are influencing the world through their organizations, their businesses, and their not-for-profit and philanthropic initiatives.
Exactly. I like that approach. It's kind of akin to, whenever I go and I speak to a student, I not only show them like what the earning potential is, but I also I also show them how to be yourself in this industry, right? So, I share with them, what some of my interests are. Some of my interests may be, hip hop, and it might be basketball. Not in the sense of, hey, you should be a basketball player, or this is what basketball. But it more or less, here is what you can do in tech, right? I'm in tech as well. Mm-hmm. Here, you don't have to change yourself, and you don't have to compromise who you are in order to be in tech and earn what these people are earning, because it gives them something to relate to. A lot of people
to aspire.
Right. A lot of people they think that they have to compromise themselves in some way in order to be, especially young people. With all the peer pressure that they have to begin with. One of the things that I like to try to show them is that, you can be yourself. You can, like what you want to like. You can listen to the music that you want to listen to and still be in tech and still aspire to be a tech entrepreneur, still become a Bill Gates, and still be whoever, be yourself and be comfortable with who you are. I think that's also very important.
Exactly, and you gotta, and so we give them those big pictures or big goals to aspire to, but we also give them some immediate gratification. So we have competitions throughout our program. So if you're, say, for instance, our 6-week program, if you stay in there for our 6-week program or our 4-week program, whichever one, even our hackathons, our 2-day hackathons or 1-day hackathons, at the end, there is a pitch competition, and that pitch competition is cash. We have the cash pinned on the board or right in their face. We show it to them. Show it to them. If you win this pitch competition, you get $400. You get $500, and then second place gets $200, and third place gets $100. So they have immediate gratification for doing good work and for being inspired to make themselves greater and to provide for themselves and their families and create a lasting career.
I like that. I like that a lot. Excellent. So let's talk about BlackTech Week. What is BlackTech Week, and how the idea come about?
Okay, so again, we have a lot of people have been getting confused. They were like, "Oh, you changed BlackTech Week to BlackTech Weekend?" No, there's two programs. So BlackTech Weekend is the program that we do on a national level. So that is the mobile program. That is the program where we go into different markets, and it can be adjusted based on which market we go into. So in Miami, you have entrepreneurs, and our main focus, and focus nationally, is for black founders to have access to venture-backed funding, or to have access to funding in general for whatever their venture may be. So BlackTech Weekend is a conference that is solely focused on raising venture funding, raising capital, getting grants, securing federal contracts, whatever it is, getting green to actually run your businesses, scale your businesses, and create that generational wealth, and to employ our people, because we're twice as entrepreneurs and owners are twice as likely to hire people that look like them. So if you want to get rid of the employment or to eliminate the employment problem, that means that we need to create more enterprises that hire our people. So that is what we're doing with that program. Now, BlackTech Week is a technology conference. So we have a portion focused on governments, and BlackTech Week takes place the last week of September, the 25th through the 30th. The weekend takes place February the 23rd through the 25th. All right. So now let's go back to the BlackTech Week. We have a government focus, a government educon, which is a section that focuses on creating these ecosystems. So if you have your local black politicians who are adverse to technology, who don't want to touch it, who say they don't understand it, you need to tell them that they need to be at BlackTech Week so they can understand it and see how they can foster entrepreneurship in their local communities, whether that is tech entrepreneurship or whether that is entrepreneurship in a slow growth business, or anything to foster economic development in your community. And the only way you can do that is through entrepreneurship. All right. Then we have the technology focus. So this is where we bring in the heavy hitters in technology. This is where we bring in the founders and the startup founders to get you interested in. This is where we have the employment partners to get you hired in a technology organization, a Google, a Facebook, a Pixar, whatever the case may be, even a local technology company. This is where we convene them. And this is where you listen to the diversity directors at these major tech conferences, the top engineers, the top social media managers, the top product managers. Everything happens at BlackTech Week. All right. Excellent. We also have a component that is focused on creating digital content. Digital media is technology, and we're trying to get them into creating their podcasts like Blacks in Tech. All right, we're trying to get them to create those viral media campaigns, those viral media videos. That's what BlackTech Week is focused for, and we have a lot of fun as well. So we have music concerts, we have all that good stuff as well. But again, BlackTech Week is the immediate pressing matter, and that's the one that you all need to be focused on right now. February the 23rd through the 25th, we have all these VCs. We have over 20 VCs that are going to be there. We have about 7 speaking, 6 or 7 speaking, and then we have many who are already going to be there in the audience just to connect with Black startup founders. So if you're a Black startup founder, the early bird special is on right now, $199. After the 31st, it goes up another $100. So again, we try to keep the price low. We're not going to hit you over the head like a South by Southwest with a $2,000 ticket. You only have to pay $200 for us, and you get to leave if you're in the north, northwest, northeast, whatever the case may be. Right. If you're in the north and you're in that snow, you need to be down here in Miami and be on this beach.
If that don't get them there, nothing will, right?
Exactly.
So who are some of the notable speakers that you have this year?
All right, so we have, again, Michael Seibel. Michael Seibel is the CEO of Y Combinator. Right. This gentleman is a Brad brother. If you have any gamers out there, they know about Twitch. They know he sold that. He was a part of Justin TV. Yep. So he's doing amazing things in Silicon Valley. We have Armando Say. He's a brother out of the Baltimore area. And he has a cybersecurity firm that he sold. So he's going to be talking about the exit. Okay. And so he's going to be talking about, okay, what is the 3 months like? What are 3 months prior to and the 3 months after? Because stuff happens before the term sheet and after the term sheet. Stuff happens before the selling contract and after the selling contract. You have to position yourself to have that exit. And that's what he's going to be talking about. Then we have a brother out of the Caribbean. He now resides in Texas. His name is Peter Walker. A lot of you may have heard of him. He sold Spun Labs to GameStop. And now he has an enterprise called Jam Kazam. And he's going to be talking about his process of creating this gaming, online gaming platform, a cloud platform that he was able to sell to GameStop, and actually became the CTO of GameStop before starting his new venture, Jam Kazam, which is a platform that connects artists all over the world to together so that they can create these albums, the music that we love to listen to. All right, so it's an amazing platform. We have Lauren Milan. She is an amazing woman. You've seen her on Woman TV. She is a serial entrepreneur, whether in tech as well as in the food and beverage industry. She used to own a winery on the East Coast. So she's a previous model. So just look her up. Again, she's phenomenal. We have Monique Woodard, who's a venture partner at 500 Startup. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was with Black Founders.
So, exactly. Yeah. She still is.
Oh, okay.
She's she's the managing director, the executive director.
Oh, okay.
So she's doing both at the same time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, multitasking on them.
Oh, yeah. I like Monique.
Yeah. She's a firecracker. So she's going to be here speaking. We have another founder of Black Founders, Nina. She's going to be here. Yep. She's going to be talking. She's going to be on a panel with Brian Brackeen of Kairos. Brian Brackeen, if you don't know about Brian Brackeen, you need to know about him. The brother is on the rise. He has a true tech startup, all tech. It's a facial recognition company. Okay. And he has a ton of major partners. He's going to be speaking as well. So those are just a few people. We have Richard Kirby, Venrock Capital out of New York. He's going to be there. We have Marlon Nichols, Cross Culture Ventures. He's going to be speaking. So again, we have VCs out of the woodwork that are going to be speaking and talking to you all. We even have another sisters, Bia Arthur, and she owns a technology company that focuses on health. So it's a health tech company. So again, we have a nice mixture of brothers and sisters of color doing amazing things and talking to you about funding, about growing your enterprises, and making money.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm pretty sure Blacks in Technology is we're going to be giving away maybe a couple of free passes to the event. So be on the lookout for that on the website. And shout out to Nina, man. Nina she's dope. She helped Blacks in Technology with our trademark not too long ago. So shout out to Nina and Monique. Yeah. So how does someone become a speaker for BlackTech Week? Is that a weekend? Is that more of a what's the selection process like for that?
So the selection process is we reach out to speakers as well as we receive requests. So I have a Google Drive folder of a ton of requests of people to speak. They all of them wanted to speak in February because they're used to BlackTech Week being there. A lot of heavy tech brothers and sisters. So I'm just letting them know to continue to send those in. BlackTech Weekend again is totally different from BlackTech Week. Different focus. So if you're in technology and you want to be a part of this movement, send your stuff to Derick, DERICK, at codefevermiami.com, and we will put your stuff inside of the folder with everybody else, and we'll be making decisions immediately following BlackTech Weekend for BlackTech Week in September. So again, apply. We're going to be opening up a form. We receive them as we go. So there is no deadline for that. Which we want to have it before. The goal is to have everything secured before June 1st. So again, if you can get it in by June 1st, that's the best bet, because the slots are going to fill up fast, like they always do. So we're going to probably open up a form on the website as well. So blacktechweek.com. Make sure you visit the website. Make sure you follow us on our social media. We're pretty much on everything BlackTech Week. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're there.
Excellent. And I know that out of BlackTech Week, you guys have fostered, the platform has fostered some $1 million deals. So tell us what one of the biggest success stories to come out of BlackTech Week.
So one of the biggest success stories was the creation of a venture fund at one of the local organizations down here. So one of our speakers came, our first year actually, went through an ecosystem tour, met up with the people over at Rocker Labs, partnered with Rocker Labs to create a venture fund in Miami. I think that was around $5 million.
Nice.
And it's like, okay, just by having one person visit, they were able to partner and connect and to create a fund, to help and scale businesses throughout the nation. Actually, Rocker Labs is an international organization, so they take people from all over the world. Then you have a couple of brothers. I don't know if they want me to give that out, but say, for instance, just last year, one brother has already raised, before he left, $250,000. All right, from a VC that was sitting in the audience just by expressing and talking about his idea. So our people need to get out of the mindset of, I'm not going to tell anybody my idea until they sign an NDA. What are you talking about? Like, if you don't talk about your idea, nobody's going to get interested in it, and nobody's going to actually fund your idea. We're not telling you to give them your patent before you actually trademark it. Right. We're just saying you talk about how that is going to be implemented. You talk about the service that you're going to provide. And then you say, how are you going to, if they start asking you the crazy details of how you're going to do this, who are the partners that you have, blah, 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 that's when you're just like, no, I can't. I have an NDA with the people that I'm dealing with, my partners. They don't want me to disclose this until the contract is signed. Or you can just say, I don't want to disclose my partners until I have a contract is signed. And once that is signed, then I'll tell you who my partners are, because they're locked and loaded. You really can't do anything afterwards. But you have to talk about your idea. So if you're coming to our conferences, if you're coming to any of our events, you need to talk about yourself. You need to talk about your ideas. You need to talk about your businesses. Because if you don't, you're not going to take advantage of the opportunities and the potential relationships that you can build and foster at these events.
And that's a good point. That's more of a reason why people should attend BlackTech Week, because the education, some people lack that education. They lack that knowledge about, talking about, your business concept or your business idea. And they have this misinformed, misinformation out there about needing an NDA before you. And I've run up against some of the, I'm not even, I wouldn't say, I'm not a VC or anything like that. I'm a little bit in tune with the startup scene. But there's people that have talked to me about, certain ideas or, wanting to look for tech people. And I say, hey, well, what's your idea? And they say, well, I can't talk to you about it without signing an NDA, or I don't want to release it. And I'm like, well, how do you expect to, if you're trying to find good tech people in our community, how do you expect to find those people if you're not willing to talk about it? Nobody is going to give up their time and their resources for something they don't know about. So
you have to. Like, okay, how does metal get? You got to think of it. How does metal get sharpened? You know what I mean? Like, either you're going to sharpen metal with other metal, or you're going to sharpen it with a sharpening stone. Like, you have to right. to do something in order to actually refine your idea. Like, right. You can't just come up with an idea and hop up to a microcycle at Y Combinator and say, hey, brother, I want to be up in Y Combinator. I want you to give me this cash investment, and I want you to mentor me and grow my enterprise. It's not going to happen. First of all, you have to come with your idea on point. You got to come with some kind of traction. You got to come with your ducks in a row. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is either you're going to be doing stuff trial by error, and you're going to be in the fire, you're going to be grinding, you're going to be putting in the work, or you're going to be talking to the people to chop your stuff up and keep it 100 with you.
Exactly.
And it's like everything at BlackTech Week is almost like a family. You know what I mean? Like, if you're coming to me with an idea, trust and believe I do not want your idea. I have my own ideas. I don't have the time to be trying to steal your idea, and I don't have the time to raise venture funding to actually grow, scale, and bring your idea into life. That is not my purpose in life.
I hear you there, man. So tell us about some of the sponsors of BlackTech Week, and what do your sponsors get out of being involved with the conference?
All right, so our sponsors range from, let's start off with the founding sponsor is Knight Foundation. So we have to give a big shout out to Knight Foundation. Knight Foundation is an organization that is doing amazing things in Miami, doing amazing things nationally. If you look at all of the programs, if you look at a lot of the funding for Code 2040, that came from Knight Foundation. They were a Knight-funded organization. If you just go and talk to some brothers and sisters, you know who received Knight funding and who's came down to Miami and done amazing things. So, first of all, they're the founding sponsor, and they've been the presenting sponsor for the last 2 years. We have another organization, the Simpkins Foundation. They're doing amazing things down here as well. The Simpkins Foundation is owned by Michael Simpkins. Michael Simpkins is a local real estate developer. We have a partnership with Michael Siebel where we're going to be opening up a 10,000 square foot co-working space in the heart of Overtown, right downtown. So when, I don't know if you all are aware of All Aboard Florida, which is the new transit and train that is going to be connecting Miami to Orlando. So you can hop on this high-speed train and get down here in a matter of hours. And that's going to be an amazing place to convene, to come, to talk to us, to build with us. We have Kairos, which is a major partner. Dell is a partner. I can go on and on down the list of partners, media partners like BET, the Miami Herald,
Nice.
Source magazine. So all of these individuals this year actually Radio One is coming back for a second. Not X Radio One. XM Radio is coming back. Particularly the Urban View is coming back for a second year. They've been great partners, along with the local radio stations down here like Hot 103, Hot 105, 99 Jams, all of them. So what our sponsors get is based on the package that they come in at. You actually get branding and promotion, brand recognition and exposure at all of our events. So not only would you get it at BlackTech Weekend, but you will also get it at our meetups. You would get branding and recognition and media attention, promotion on our social media campaigns, our websites, all of the media, the media attention that we're getting down here from the local radio stations and press, and the flyers, and just anything, like even our branding bag. So it depends on whichever level you come in. It depends. That is what actually will allow you to know what level and what level of advertising and sponsoring that you're going to come in. Again, we have all of our programs, the BlackTech Weekend, the newsletter, the website, the social media.
Right.
Check it out.
Excellent.
You get to see what we can do for you.
Excellent. And so how can other organizations, like a Blacks in Technology or a business become involved with BlackTech Week?
Yeah. Okay. So you can reach out to myself. Again, I gave out my email address, Derick. You can reach out to my wife, Alicia. And you can also reach out to info@codefevermiami.com. All right. So we have a team of people. You're going to probably be thrown off to a number of people who can actually give you all that information, whether it be a sponsorship packet or whether it be a partnership agreement and how we can partner. So just, again, if you're reaching out to us, let us know how you would like to partner. Or if you're requesting more information, we'll shoot that over to you. So it's just an email away. Okay.
Excellent. So you talked a little bit about Code Fever earlier. You gave us the rundown on what it is and what the organization does. And so how do adults and students, how do they become participants in Code Fever?
All right, so Code Fever, what we do is we have a number of partnerships throughout the library system, through not-for-profit organizations as well as businesses. Whether it be a desire of them to train and to expose youth to technology or their employees, or to just grow the economy, whether it's a quasi-governmental partnership, and they just want the economic growth for the county. We create those programs and we reach out to selective partners. So if we're dealing with the library system, we try to make a focused effort to get the people who walk in daily to apply. We get them to sign up for our mailing list. We have numerous mailing lists that are based on region. We send information out there. We have posters and flyers, and we have partners who have lists and membership members that themselves. So they reach out to their networks, and that's how we spread the word about the program and get people to participate. So one thing to notice is that, again, if you're talking about dealing with black people and dealing with a community that has been systematically, continuously disenfranchised, misinformed, and marginalized, you have to deal with things from an educational standpoint. So if you're looking at a coding school that has a weed out process of saying that, oh, you already have to be a tech expert in order for you to get into our program, that is not the program for you. Well, you need a program that is going to build you up from the ground zero. So we don't require any of that. You come in, if you know how to read and write, you're good to go. If you can type at a efficient speed, you're good to go. And based on that, we're going to take you to where you need to be. All right. And if you can't do it within the time frame of our program, we provide you with the resources so you can continue to do self-learning.
Excellent.
So that's what we look for in individuals, and that's how we recruit. So nobody gets turned away.
Excellent. How long have you been has Cold Fever been running?
Cold Fever has been doing programming since 2013.
Okay. And how many students would you say you've put through the program?
Whew. So it depends on which program. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you through the hackathons. We're gonna talk to you about the boot camps. We've done over 2,000 people since 2013.
Nice, very nice, very nice.
So these are youth who, many of whom have continued to come back and go through the adult programs. Many of those were in high school who wanted to go into nursing, went to nursing school and changed their degrees to information technology. People like some of our youth who were in middle school. One of the young ladies, Alex, she had an idea that she developed through our program, and she made it to the semi-finalists of Warren Buffett's Young Millionaires program. So
very cool.
We're putting some heavy hitters out here, man. So we're exposing them, and we're building them up to take over this world.
Very nice, very nice. So how do you all, what's your measure, or how do you all measure success within the program?
So we measure success by their ability to, the main thing is the pitch competition. So again, you have onboarding, you have a couple of programs where open, so I think Facebook has some, Google has some applications as well, where you can go in there and you can do assessments. So you assess them in the very beginning, you assess them at the end, you see where they are, you see where you rate them emotionally. How are they? Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? And based on that, how can you actually socially build them up socially so that they can actually do a proper pitch and express themselves? So all of those things are qualitative, but most of the things are qualitative that we measure. But it allows us to see the growth of those kids. And then we see, okay, now what is their technical prowess? We again have a post-assessment. We see where they are afterwards. So can you actually remember the stuff that we taught you? Like,
right.
how are you going to do on this quiz? All right, now let's see your final project. Does your final project meet all of these things on this checklist? And the judges and outside individuals are the ones that we bring in, especially our partners, at the very end to assess where the kids, to assess how the kids progress or the adults progress. So if we're talking about adults, we're looking at employment. If we're talking about adults, we're looking at certifications. We're talking about if they're still in this area. Have they gone back to their old ways? Where they're in construction and they say, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this whole 6-week program. Have I went back to construction, or am I still, do I have a career in technology? So these are all measures that we look at. And also the impact, how many of these individuals are continually coming to participate in BlackTech programming. Do they come up to the meetups? Do they come to the office hours?
Right.
Do they come to the conferences? Like, are they going to all of our other partners? Are they going to the Refresh Miami? Are they going to the Venture Cafe, which are not predominantly black events? So how are they participating in the global ecosystem in the county?
Right, right. I think that's super important. I think one of the things that ends up happening for some people is they kind of get lost in the fray. I know there's a couple of programs here in Cincinnati that teaches mostly minority students entry-level tech skills, and I had the opportunity to be a mentor for some of these students. And one of the things that ends up happening is that they get out of the program and then they're lost because they don't know they don't know the ecosystem, meaning they don't know, the meetups, what meetups to go to, where to go for more resources, where to go for more knowledge. And so it's good that you all are keeping people involved in that ecosystem. You have all these different partners. You said Refresh Miami and things like that, so you can keep them motivated and keep them, involved in what's going on in tech. I think that's really critical.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Excellent. So, what drives you? When it comes to getting people involved in tech. I know, with me, and a lot of people that are doing, some of the things that we're doing, it's, this burning desire to see people succeed in technology, because we've all had, our successes in technology, and we want to, give that back. What drives you?
What really drives me, I keep that private, because but okay. What drives me is I definitely want to see our community grow.
Right.
I'm more of a Garveyite. You know what I mean? I'm more of I'm down for the Brother X. I'm down for the late Brother Martin Luther King's movement for the poor people. I went to an HBCU. I went to Morehouse. Okay. So that's where my mindset is. It's about economic development, because
right.
if you look at it, money is a symbol of power. So we're chasing after this symbol. Yeah, you see all the celebrities saying, "Okay, yeah, I can always make more money," because it's true. What is actually the most important thing is power. When you start playing that power game, that's when you become a threat. So when you have Marcus Garvey talking about taking away the slave workforce, which are the black people in America, and taking them back to Africa, that brother got to go. When he started talking about they're self-sufficient, he got to go. When Martin Luther King is talking about, hey, poor people, no, we got to unite all poor people. With the people in power, we got to destroy this power structure, this infrastructure. He got to go. When you start talking about Malcolm X, Malik El-Shabazz, when you start talking about the new form of him and the international brother and bringing human rights violations against black people against the United States, right. He got to go. So these are the things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in building economic systems and institutions that are designed and built to help black people create power, to create self-sufficiency, to be independent, to create their own visions and complete their purposes in life, and to create that generational wealth.
Right.
So that's where my mindset at. Again, I can always go back to I have a side business right now, and I got a stealth mode technology business. So all those things, from an entrepreneur standpoint, that's fine and gravy. I think running a not-for-profit organization is one of the hardest things, because you're going around asking people for their money all the time, and they're looking at you like you're crazy. So. So that's what drives me, man. It's a love for black people in general. It's a love for myself, because I am black.
Amen to that, man. Hey, what's so real about what you just said, and why I connect with it so much, is because when you hear about this talk about diversity and inclusivity in technology, and the Silicon Valleys and the big companies there not wanting us. And really what Blacks in Technology, our organization and our community, is all about is helping each other, right? We talk about this a lot in our Slack channel, and a lot of us are like, bump Silicon Valley. Let's do our own thing. That's what this community is for, so that we can educate each other, so that, we know that we're not out here by ourselves. We come together in the community. We trade knowledge. We trade experiences. We help each other grow individually, professionally. And that's what it should be about, right? And if Silicon Valley or whoever, they don't want to hire us, let's build our own thing. There's plenty of other companies that will outside of Silicon Valley. They're not the only company tech companies out there. There's plenty of other companies that utilize tech that enables them to be the type of company they are anyhow. Companies out here, for instance, in Cincinnati, like Kroger or General Electric or P&G. These are all traditionally not tech companies, but they have a rich and deep tech ecosystem within that company. And and they employ plenty of people of color, plenty of underrepresented people. So there, this talk about Silicon, I don't like it, because to me, I don't really care, right? I care about what we can do for each other, and how we can help each other grow and build. And it sounds like that, you're of the same mindset as far as wanting us to come together, wanting us to build together, and do our thing.
Yeah, 100%. Again, when I said earlier that money is a symbol of power, it's not actual power. If the power is the person who can be able to influence you and your wealth and be able to take that wealth from you. That's the person with the power. Right. So if you're looking at Silicon Valley, like there are some amazing people over there, amazing companies, but the establishment there is that Silicon Valley is the tech hub. It's the nucleus. So everything revolves around Silicon Valley, because why? They still want Silicon Valley to be that place of power. That's where power arises, and that's where, if you're in technology, you have to go over there and you have to bow down and you have to kiss the foot of the king and the queen over there. So that's a monopoly trying to protect themselves. And again, if you look at I dislike the brother's political statements, but Peter Thiel said it best. Every technology company in Silicon Valley, if they're successful and you see them as billionaires, they're monopolies. And monopoly's sole purpose is to continually protect their self-interest. Right. Google, they say, hey, they reclassify themselves as a tech company. No, they're a search company. You know what I mean? Like, and they're the only search company. All right. So, like these little fake classifications are again designed to protect themselves and protect their monopolistic interests, and that's just the way the game is played. So, we need to read these books. We need to understand the mindset of people that we're competing with. So, if you haven't read Zero to One by Peter Thiel, you need to read it. And the first thing that you need to read on your list, if you're a black person in business, is Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? By Reginald Lewis. The brother breaks it down to you. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing changed. When everybody tells you, oh, baby, you need you hear these black people telling you that you need a partner that is of a different ethnicity because they are likely to fund you. That's what Reginald Lewis was saying in Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? That's why he became a billionaire. He made one deal that made him a billionaire. So this book is a must-read for our people. You need to read Marcus Garvey's Message to the People. It's a short 150-page book. It's the best book on grassroots movements ever written. To me, like, if you find one better than that, shoot me an email. Let me know. But Marcus Garvey's Message to the People, and those are the three books that I immediately recommend. But if you come to my house, man, I have hundreds of books. I have hundreds and hundreds of books. So nice. It's like, but those three books you need to really be on.
And tell me the names of those. I want to put those in the show notes. Marcus Garvey. Okay, I'll do it. Marcus Garvey. That's A Message to the People. Okay. And then you have 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Okay. And that's Peter Thiel. Okay. Got it. All right, and then you have Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? Got
And
it.
that and I go to, like, why should white guys have all the fun? It's an amazing read.
And who was
that's
that by?
Reginald Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'll put those in the show notes.
Yeah, so when you had that boom of investors, I think probably during the tech bubble, when everybody was using debt to finance everything. So
Right.
this brother was the only brother to get accepted, was the only person to ever get accepted into Harvard Law School without applying. Graduated from Virginia State University, got accepted into Harvard Law School.
Right.
As soon as he came on campus, they said, okay, we still require you to do an application. So after he's already been accepted, they made him fill out an application. So this brother started a law firm in New York City, Wall Streeter, and he did mergers and acquisitions. So he was making all of these other black brothers millionaires. And he was like, why am I making them millionaires when I'm not making myself even richer? I'm making them more wealthier than me. So he was a millionaire. So what he did was, like, he said, okay, I'm going to do a deal for myself. So he had all of these relationships with all the top investment bankers, tech professionals, all these different hedge funds. He had these relationships with. But he tried to make a deal for himself. They always turned him down. He could never deal for himself. To make a long story short, the brother said, okay, I'm going to represent this fictitious person. And he never told who the deal people he was dealing with, who this fictitious person was. So eventually, he made all these different things, financed everything with debt, didn't do anything, it didn't come out of his pocket a penny. The debt was, the company was over leveraged, it was highly in debt. So what he did was, prior to him signing off on the final deal, he sold all the bad assets and had renegotiated partnership agreements to Patrice Foods prior to him signing the final deal. So as soon as he signed all the paperwork, everything, all the bad assets had been sold to companies that perceived them as better assets and could actually make a higher return on investment on them. And he had this profitable food company, Patrice Foods. Look up the brother, Reginald Lewis. So he tells you how to play the game. Because if you're reading all these books, you're reading 0 to 1, you're reading Creativity Inc., you're reading The Science of Success by, hey, you might not like him, but he got a good book by Charles Koch. So the Koch brothers.
Right.
So you're reading all these books, and it comes from their perspective.
Right.
Your listeners, many of your listeners are not white, so they can't play the same game. So you have to listen and get the insight from a brother who is playing the game from your side, from your team. Reginald Lewis playing the game from your side. All right? So listen to him, take his advice, see how he plays the game, implement that. Marcus Garvey is playing the game from your side. So you need to look and see how he does his thing. Most people who said they don't see color and they don't perceive color and they're a colorblind person, especially if they're black, that means that in a lot of cases they don't have the respect of white people. Because white people understand and know people who respect their culture, who recognize with their culture. Culture is big in everybody else's group. Only when we try to assimilate and we neglect our culture and neglect ourselves do we rise to a certain level and we become that token that they disrespect and that we wonder why, what the hell is Clarence Thomas doing? All these type of people. All right, so these are the things that we have to understand. Like, and then when you get into these private conversations, they're like, you know what? I really like you as a person. I want to work with you. I'm going to give you this deal. I'm going to write you this grant. I'm going to give you this contract. So these are the things that we have to understand. People love confidence. If you see I don't care if you see the biggest 500-pound girl walking down the street and you like, man, she got the best self-confidence I've ever seen. She is attractive as hell to you. You know what I mean? So that's what like people don't understand. Self-confidence and self-pride and is attractive. People want to be around that. So if you're talking about you don't see color and you don't consider yourself black, that means that you have some deep down mentality that is telling you that you are inferior and that you have something within you that you don't like. So again, read these books, man. Come to BlackTech Week, get this knowledge, get this paper, and let's grow.
And before we get out of here, as you know, Blacks in Technology, we're a community of technologists and tech enthusiasts. So before you go, what's one thing that you want our audience to take away from tonight's podcast?
One thing that I want you all to take away is that you have people out here that is laying down a path, chopping down trees, getting cut by stickers and bushes to create a road for you to walk down to create your own destiny. You need to understand that we're not asking all of you to be computer programmers. We're not asking all of you to be chemists. We're not asking all of you to be electrical engineers. We're just allowing you to understand that technology is the equalizer. Technology allows you to operate your enterprise, your business in a manner that allows you to compete with the big boys, to be able to create your own destiny, to be able to create the music and the content that you like. Technology is a means to an end. It's not the be-all, end-all. Look at Tristan Walker. Tristan Walker, yeah, he uses the online platform and to advertise in social media, to advertise his product, but it's a manufacturing company, and it's actually a middleman company. If you look at it, all these companies are middlemans. Unless they have manufacturing facilities that they own, that means that they are not manufacturing. He has a great brand. He has a keen eye for design. He has a moral compass for quality in his product. All right? He has an ability to create a relationship with business partners and gain that trust and to be able to get funding. That's why Tristan Walker is making the money that he's doing and doing amazing things. All right, so this is what we have to understand. That technology allowed him, gave him a means to create the lifestyle and the vision that he wants. It gives all of us that ability. So that's the one thing that I want to leave with everybody. Follow the path that has been laid down for you, and use technology in any way that you see fit. It's a means to an end.
Excellent. And last but not least, give everybody, the URLs where they can follow you on Twitter, how they can find out more information about BlackTech Week.
All right, Twitter is BlackTech Week. Facebook group, BlackTech Week. Instagram, BlackTech Week. Go to blacktechweek.com. Reach out to us. My email again is Derick, DERICK, at Cold Fever Miami. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm everywhere. Holla at me.
Excellent. Derick, I want to thank you for joining us on the Bit Tech Talk podcast, man. Much success to you and to your wife and BlackTech Week, and let us know here at Blacks in Technology what we can do to help you all out, and let's do this, man. So thanks a lot again.
All right, thanks a lot, Gregory. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Take care.
All right, brother.
And that is it for this episode of the Blacks in Technology Big Tech Talk podcast. We want to thank our guest, Derick Pearson, founder of the BlackTech Weekend, founder of Cold Fever Miami, founder of Feverish Pops, and for his insight in technology and telling us about BlackTech Week. If So, if you have any suggestions or comments, email them to us at contactus@blacksandtechnology.net. I'm not sure who our next guest is going to be. Hopefully, I'll know here pretty soon to get that up on the site. But stay tuned, probably within the next couple of weeks, for our next Blacks and Technology BitTech Talk podcast. Thank you, and remember, tech yourself before you wreck yourself.